And here's a headline for you. If you've been following all of the back and forth about gun laws in Illinois and elsewhere, you've got the Associated Press reporting about retired officers angry at the board's delay on gun carrying. And this is coming from the Associated Press here in Illinois. Thousands of law enforcement officers left out when Illinois adopted a federal law allowing police agency retirees to carry concealed weapons. Saw their fortunes reversed January 1st with a state law granting them permission. But 2 months later, the Associated Press reports they still await the okay to carry firearms in public because the regulatory agency that runs the retiree program isn't complying with the law. The Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board said conflicting laws rendered the board powerless to issue concealed carry permits to sheriff's deputies who worked the jails or monitored courtrooms. But it waits until January 11th, more than a week after the law's effective date, to seek an opinion from the state attorney general on how to proceed. So Governor J.B. Pritzker was asked about this yesterday, and he merely just said he's going to look into it and didn't really know much of the detail about what's going on there. But you can see that, even with retired law enforcement, when it comes to concealed carry and other in the law enforcement space, getting concealed carry and being able to carry guns in public, there's still a lot of uncertainty and how that's going to be handled in the future. So an interesting headline there. But today we do have some expectations in the ongoing litigation against Illinois' gun ban and magazine ban, and that is that the federal court cases down in the Southern District expecting to see a state filing today. So you've got the states that's required to file in response to a motion for a preliminary injunction in the Southern District of Illinois, and that case coming from the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the Illinois State Rifle Association, the Federal Firearms Licensees of Illinois, and also the Crawford County state-level case that was transferred from state-level court to federal court. 4 cases being consolidated in the Southern District, and that means a consolidated briefing schedule. So the state has to respond today. We'll talk about it tomorrow as to what their response is, but we do have that court date that's scheduled for April 12th in the Southern District of Illinois Federal Court in East St. Louis. But there's other happenings in the ongoing gun litigation, and that is in the Naperville case. If you recall, the judge in the Northern District of Illinois several weeks ago ruled against the gun store in Naperville, essentially saying that they weren't going to grant a temporary restraining order and that the state's gun ban and registry is constitutional. This all stems from a case that actually was filed against Naperville last year before Illinois passed its gun ban. So the case was filed sometime in September after Naperville approved a gun ban in that jurisdiction, but the case was amended after January 10th when the state enacted its gun and magazine ban to include a challenge of the state ban. And then you had the federal judge in that case go ahead and deny the temporary restraining order and essentially uphold the state's and Naperville's gun ban as constitutional, seeming to use the kind of approach of the balancing of public interest versus the individual right to keep and bear arms. So that judge, by the way, in the Northern District has been overthrown twice. Her rulings on 2 different gun cases dealing with Chicago and whether or not there are gun stores and gun ranges. So that judge having the appellate court essentially overrule her on 2 different occasions. Gun rights supporters expect the appellate court to overturn her on this decision as well. So that's in the Northern District. But to get to that chance to overturn, it has to be appealed. And the latest in the Naperville case from earlier this week is that they have filed for a motion for injunctive relief pending appeal. And there you can see some of the points that the plaintiff brings up, looking for that motion of injunctive relief pending appeal, signaling they are going to appeal the judge's order on this. And one of the things they bring up is that cash reserves are depleted, that the individuals who are barred from being able to carry weapon or to buy weapons, they are being prohibited now, they say, from exercising their Second Amendment rights in any fashion, this fashion in particular, which means that their business will be forced out of business, and even worse, the citizens of Naperville and now the state of Illinois will be left as sitting ducks for criminals who will still get the banned firearms to accomplish their nefarious purpose, as history has confirmed. So they're looking to get that injunctive relief so that they can then have some safety in exercising their Second Amendment while this plays out in the federal court system in the Northern District. So we'll watch, of course, what happens with the Naperville case. But today, a lot of attention is going to be on the state's reply to the plaintiffs in the Southern District federal court. And all of that's going to be playing out. We'll be watching very closely. So stay tuned. Of course, you can always check in each and every weekday morning here on WMAY. It's Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg.